Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing well. So, I intended to post about my budget since June. June, I think, is the last time I posted about it. But the truth is that I had a video done in April that I had to delete because it was no longer relevant that I did about my budget. But a lot was going on during that time. I had to move and all of the stuff. It was just a nightmare. And when I moved in, I wanted to do May. It was also a mess because there was a lot of unexpected costs, but then I eventually did June. Then July came around and something just changed in my budget. Just couldn't grasp it. And it was like a nightmare. And it's also around the time when I got my remote job that has now changed. So it's just been, and it's funny, the whole time right after basically like the August payday routine and all of that stuff, I'm like, okay, just try to do it before the 10th. The 10th rolled around, it even passed, and I still hadn't done it. I was like, okay, do it before mid month. Then on the 16th, I had to attend a hockey game. I got my own team, and they were playing on the 16th, and I did that. When I came back from that, my voice was gone. Flu was trying to get into me, and I had to put my health first and focus on that. And now we are one day away from basically the September payday. So it's basically been a nightmare trying to get this done. But I am a firm believer of, a new day means you get to try again. And we're at a new month now. So I'm going to try again this month and see how that's going to go. Because I feel like I am just like in a new era of my life. And I really want to be more open about finances and career and all of that stuff. And it's also funny how today I got confirmation that I am finally registered with the South African Council of Educators as like a registered teacher. So I don't know which other sign to wait for to kind of share about my life, because this is a process that took forever. And I mean forever. I hate forms and I hate, like, even currently I'm driving with like a temporary license and it drives me mad. Like, I need a permanent thing to do that with. And teaching all this time being kind of registered but not has been bothering me a lot. And I feel like everybody has their own journey. I mean, whatever. But it's just been a lot, basically. And 2 weeks ago, I decided to stop posting content and focus on all the admin stuff that was just hanging in my life, including this registration, including a claim that I had to make from Old Mutual. Guys, if your parents' things or your things are with Old Mutual and you can move them to some other company that's not too gigantic and slow moving like this one, please do, because that's like, I could go on a rant about this, but Old Mutual sucks and I wish my mom never, ever, ever signed up with them, because it's been a nightmare like trying to get our things straight. And yo, anyway, this is about the budget. So I'm gonna share my September budget with you right now, even though my payday is only tomorrow. But everything I'm showing you right now is basically how I'm gonna be handling my budget, like straight off the rip tomorrow. The only thing I am concerned about though is the fact that even though I love the zero-based budget, like around maybe like approaching the 20th, like you really have no disposable income, because I don't make space for disposable income. I basically just adjust some of the things with like 100 rand more or 200 rand more and stuff like that, and by then that's also been used. So I have to figure out how I'm gonna stash maybe 2,000 rand or so. I feel like that's always what I'm missing towards the end of the month. How I'm gonna stash that money away so that when the 20th rolls around, I can get that money back. So a friend of mine used to get paid on the 15th while I got paid month end. And we struck up this deal that when I get paid, I give her 2K. And when she gets paid, she gives me 2K. So by mid-month, I had 2K coming in from her, and by her mid-month, she had 2K coming in from me. I wish there was someone I could do this with, because clearly I need this kind of reserve, because I just can't sit with money. If money is sitting with me, I make emotion based decisions. And as you know, as a woman, you go through like 5 different stages per month. So it's really not safe with me, because I'm gonna do whatever I can to make myself feel better. That's just fact. I'm sorry, I'm just not mature enough in that department, especially these days. Like, I just feel like so liberated and free. I just don't want myself, like, I don't want to suffer for one moment on this planet. Okay, every day is a gift, and I'm just done waiting for life. Anyway, so let's get right into this because it's gonna be a tad bit long, but I'm gonna fast forward the bits that you already know so that yeah, we can just like not spend too much time on here. All right, let's get started. This is my September budget. I don't want to lie, I am kind of freaked out by what I see here. So I love this budget because you know at this moment it's giving me like anxiety, but I'm glad that I did this because I needed to see what I have done. We are 2 weeks into the new month, as you know. I get paid on the 25th right here, and right now we're here. So we're 2 weeks into the new calendar month. I tracked all my expenses because that's why I wanted this budget. When I had my previous budget on Excel, it tracked how much I had budgeted for everything, but I've never had a transaction log. And I think a transaction log gives you the truth of the matter, and that's why you need this particular calendar. So it will take you a while to figure it out, but it is actually quite useful. So I tracked all my spending since I got my money. And because some of my things are being paid on like exactly month end, that's why it's important to start the second that you get your money. So I do want to be clear that I got paid on the 25th of August. I did also get internet money, but I haven't removed it from my PayPal account. I'm basically holding it there up until the popo hits the fan, basically. It's not a ton of money. I think at this moment it's only like 1,000 Rand, 2,000 Rand, I'm not sure, because it comes from different streams from the internet. So I'm gonna only put it in there when it matters. Currently, I'm doing remote work on an ad hoc basis, so I'm gonna add that there when it's relevant. But these other dates, they are just pre-entered, so ignore them. Anyway, so right now, this is what I'm working on for my first paycheck. Slight change this month, but nothing to be concerned about. So from the second it hit my account, it was a Monday, and I'm not sure where I spend this money, but I'm assuming it's just like takeaway. Sometimes I do that just to reward myself. And on the same day, my medical aid also got paid, and this policy that I have. So I don't name everything. Some things are just a little private, but I do have this policy. And I also spent some money at the tuck shop and spa afterwards. Like I was just so reckless that day. I put this takeaway on 25 August, but I think it was for 26. So I didn't want to change it. So it's basically eat out as well. This one, because I didn't, technically I do have a 300 Rand tuck shop budget, but because it was intermingled with a spa expense as well, I put it in one block. So I'm not going to run through everything, but I do have some stuff that happened this month that were not planned, and that's why I put the details here. So I bought a coach whistle, which was a whopping 200 Rand. I didn't budget for it. It was given to me. I thought it was for free, but then when she wanted it back, I realized that I needed it, so I opted to pay for it. And then I put something else here, which was fuel, but I already added fuel another day, so that's why there's this gap here. I have my usual subscriptions. This one is a new subscription, which I'm currently enjoying. And then I also had lunch with a friend who said she would pay, but then I ended up paying. Huh? A red flag. Anyway, and then I also have my main groceries that I do like the day of or the second day, which the budget for it is 500 Rand. So I also got some school stuff unplanned. I had to get an orange t-shirt for an event at school. It was a disaster. Like I couldn't believe I had to pay for 300 Rands worth of things out of pocket. I filled up for 500 Rand and paid rent by the Wednesday or Thursday. And then I had to remove some stock from my Takealot shop that came out of pocket, 50 bucks. And then the food started piling up. Now you'll see that there's a lot of food markers here. And I did that on purpose because I feel like I don't label my expenses properly. So this time I wanted to be intentional about it. So in order for me to have food money, I'll transfer it to my Capitec account. And when I transfer it, I indicate that it's for food or food related items or errands or whatever. When I put everything together, I realized that I spent a whopping 2,869 Rand on food just for the past 2 weeks. Like, I'm traumatized.
traumatized because I did cook a bit. Like, I don't get how it's so much. Like, I feel like I cooked more than usual, but it's still up there. And yeah, the rest, this was also unplanned. I got some cute things from Shein. I thought I deserved it. And this was my other major expense. I got some supplements from a company called Lifer. The reason why I felt like it was essential is because I've been feeling so drained lately and it's impacting my productivity, my state of well being. So I felt like it was more important than anything else. More food. I also have a Pay Just Now account that I used, I think, last month, which I love Pay Just Now. Like, oh, phenomenal concept. And I mark this as grocery because that's how I allocated, but it wasn't for week 3. So I'm a bit disappointed with this expenditure. I wish I can go back and check what it's for, but it was a lot. And then I think it had like a ton of food stuff for school or something. So not well managed. And usual subscriptions. I also unexpectedly bought from Checkers, and I can't remember what that was about. And I also have a Spotify subscription and another subscription. So this is just for the past 2 weeks. I've literally gone through spent amount 15,000 rand in 2 weeks. That's crazy. The only thing that is nice about it is that everything is paid. Like I don't owe anyone anything except for one thing. But I'm shocked. Like I don't even think that even if I had like an income of 30K, that I would have blown through it the way that I've blown through this money. So now I have a balance of 1,000 Rand. I feel like a student again when I was earning way less money. And it's just shocking to me that what the hell happened? And I told myself just like be careful this time around because August was also this type of dumpster fire. And it just happened again. I don't know what else to do to make this okay. Um, yeah. The only thing that is helping me right now is just managing my budget and also what also managing my budget in terms of keeping track of the truth. Another thing that's also helping me is making money elsewhere that doesn't require my energy or my time. I think that's probably why I'm not freaking out. I feel like I will be able to survive. But I just think that it's things like like for example, just the supplements and all the food based items, that's close to almost 4K out of my salary. That's like 25% of it. So I definitely need to cut down on that. I just don't know like how. So all these red amounts are like where there was no budget in place and then money was still spent. So if I have to put it together just roughly 200, 400, 600, 800, 2,000, 300. Ugh, it's a lot. Oh my gosh. All unplanned, all just spur of the moment, which I generally don't mind, but still, it's crazy. So, yeah, I'm generally just at this moment grateful that I do have another stream of income that is helping me out right now because if it wasn't for that, the idea of having 3 more weeks left on 1,000 Rand would literally torture me to death. However, again, the beauty of a budget like this is that you take care of your needs first. You get them all paid so that you're only left with like wants or luxuries. And technically, that is what I'm left with. I have food in the house, I have everything I need. I guess the only thing I need that I won't have now is just disposable money. That's about it. Can't go out. Have to say no to all the coffees that I will get invited to in the next 3 weeks. But with everything else, I'm covered. So yeah.
All right, so that's basically it for my budget. I hope it kind of makes sense. I mean, I know there are certain things that are just tailored for me in there, but I think the majority of the plans that I have is to basically start saving for an emergency fund, which sometimes feels like it's the hardest thing to basically pull off on this planet. But now that majority of my debts have been paid, and I've also paid most of the things that have to do with registrations and things like that, I'm really hoping that it will allow more space for other things in my life. But more than that, I definitely need an additional income now that the other one is kind of not there anymore, just so that I have enough money leading up to December, because I've been broke every single December. Like, even if I'm not broke and I have money, it was saved for something huge that was coming the following year, like tuition and things like that. So I would love to be rich for once in my birthday month so that I can spoil myself rotten because I deserve it and I'm done suffering. Anyway, I hope you guys had fun with this, and I'll see you in my next video.